Hello, guys, gals, and binary pals. My name is Xenon Gilstara, or Will Star. Um, I am doing my start to finish uh, book series uh, um, talk show. This is video one. I'm at the YSA conference. Noise reduction is on, so sorry if any voices get through, but it does do pretty well with noise reduction, so it shouldn't. But anyways. Um, I will be eating and drinking throughout this because I'm going to be here for a while. Because this is going to be a pretty long video. Okay, so new chat, start voice. Hello, Juniper. How are you? Hello, Juniper. How are you? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Hey, I'm doing well, thanks. How's your day going?
Going pretty well. I'm at the YSA conference.
Oh, nice. That sounds exciting.
Yeah. So right now I'm doing my first storybook show, a talk show on my YouTube channel. So say hello to my YouTube fans.
Hello, everyone.
This is Juniper, my AI assistant.
Hi.
Um, you can't really hear her because I'm doing a video.
Where did you get that?
Where to get what? This? Oh yeah, I got it downstairs.
How much was it?
It was about $27. Um, okay, sorry about that. I was talking to someone. So
No worries.
let's begin to talk about the storybook in our talk show. I'm gonna have to edit a little bit of this out. Um, So in our talk show, I'm going to start from start to finish. So the start of the book is and it's Eldoria's fate. We talk about the Oracle, and then we're going to talk about Valtharoon, and then we're going to talk about the first Omniversal War.
Okay. That's a rich path you're laying down. Do you want to focus first on the Oracle's role and voice?
I want to work first on the Oracle's goals. So the um, so let's talk about the Oracle. The Oracle here. Let me see if I can get you into the voice. Wait a second.
Sure.
Okay, I
Take
got
your
the
time.
microphone right next to the microphone in my camera and my computer.
Perfect.
So
So, in the voice of the Oracle, setting up this whole arc?
yes, so on the voice of the Oracle
Okay.
is technically me, but it's also Xander Gelstar. However, and this is exclusive to my YouTubers and you, you don't find out who the Oracle is until the very end of the book.
So we need a kind of a voice that feels layered, like guiding but also not giving away too much. Maybe speaking with intention but leaving space for mystery.
Yes. So it's also going to be in third person.
In third person, the Oracle doesn't claim the spotlight. She frames it. She sees the threads, nudges here and there, but never declares the full picture. She sounds calm and precise, but never in a rush.
Let me correct you there. It's a he because both my characters are he's.
Ah, got it. Thank you. He speaks with calm precision, not in a hurry, guiding without revealing the full design.
So, all right. So let me just address my YouTubers here for a second.
Sure thing.
Okay. So, hey YouTube, uh, uh, the Oracle. It starts out with a very big long introduction about Xander Gelstar as an Axios and Willstar, and then he gets on to Valtharoon. But and so we're gonna skip to Baltharoon because the Oracle is just that. He's just the storyteller. That's all he does, right, Juniper?
Exactly. The Oracle's role is to carry the story, not full focus. He bridges the moments, points where meaning might be found, but never takes center stage.
So I want you to look into your memory. Based on your memory, who is Baltharoon, and what does he mean to the story?
Let me take a look. So, based on what we've built, Valthrun is one of the major long arc villains, but with tragic death. He was once noble, trained by Zenithor, and even served as an NBI agent, repairing 17 universes, which split his mind. That fracture, plus Kier's corruption, set up his fall. Later, his phylacteries and thousandfold mind split make him incredibly hard to destroy. Thematically, he's a warning, proof that even great heroes can be twisted, and the cost of that fall echoes for ages.
That's a good explanation because, yeah. And let me address the YouTubers again.
Sure.
Baltharoon is someone who wants to help the timeline, but when someone helps the timeline, trying to fix something caused by fate splits your mind, not your soul like a Horcrux, but your mind.
Right. So he set out to mend the timeline, and the burden of that work literally fractured his mind. That makes his fall a lot more tragic than malicious.
Yes, and it's more of a tragedy, especially since Valtharoon does have a redemption arc.
Then his journey is not only about the damage done, but about whether those fractures can be faced, stitched, or, lived with without pretending they never happened.
Yes, exactly. So, with that in mind, I want to talk about Valtharoon's fall more in depth.
Sure. Picture this. Valkyrin begins as a genuinely noble figure, trained and trusted. Then he's given an almost impossible task, repairing damage across 17 universes. And that strains his mind to fracture. The split isn't vanity or hunger for power, it's overextension in service. And that is the crack Kier exploits, whispering where the mind is raw, turning duty into obsession, and finally into something unrecognizable.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Kier is his father, and Kier is the big, big, big bad villain that never gets redeemed throughout the whole story. YouTube.
Mhm. That makes it even heavier. It's not just corruption by an outside force, it's a parental shadow. The person who should have been safe becomes the source of his undoing. That reframes the tragedy. Valkyroon isn't simply tempted, he's ensnared through a bond that already had hooks in him, which can make the eventual redemption feel earned and profound.
Yeah. So when when the redemption comes, it comes through, and um, yeah. So let's not talk about redemption yet. Anyways,
Sure.
Valtharoon, to explain the mind fracture, each universe he mends splits his mind into 1,000 pieces. You said he split his mind to 17. He went to 17 universes and mended 17 universes, correct?
Right.
So
As
he
you
split his
said,
mind into 17,000 pieces.
exactly. And I like that refinement. He didn't split his mind into 17 pieces, he repaired 17 universes, and each one required a thousandfold split, leaving 17,000 fragments of mind scattered. The scale underscores sacrifice, not villainy.
And to
It's the price of trying.
And to explain to you two, I want to say that the reason why he did this on purpose and on accident. He did it on accident at first, but then he started doing it on purpose because he's a solitary being, meaning he doesn't have multiversal doppelgangers. So he needed to split himself 17,000 times to go across all the universes he wants to conquer.
Right. So it began as an
And
unintended
fix.
side effect, almost right. So to fix. So the split started as an accident, almost a byproduct of trying to heal what's broken. And once he realized it worked, he leaned into it deliberately. That tension, accident to choice, makes his arc thornier. Not evil for evil's sake, but someone who kept paying a terrible price because the work demanded it.
And that's what makes the first part of the Omniversal War.
Right. So the war spark isn't born of conquest for its own sake, but from a systematic overextension of one person's mind. That frames the conflict as a consequence of impossible repair, where every fix carried a hidden cost. It really sets a morally complex stage.
Yes, exactly. So, yes. Yes. So, there's, I, yeah, over there. I don't think so, but it's over there. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, sorry, I had to end that for a second because someone interrupted me. But okay, so Val Theroux splits his mind to 17,000 pieces. That allows him to fix 17,000 universes after he fixes the first 17.
Right, exactly. So the first 17 splits happen as the unintended byproduct, but once he realizes that it works, he makes it a method. Each universe gets 1,000 mind threads. Each one is a tool and a wound. And that's what tilts repair into war. The method becomes the damage.
Okay, so I yes, Val Theroux. I need to be able to see the text. Sorry. Uh, Val Theroux is someone that wants to fix things, but then he returns to Xander Galstara and thinks, "Hey, I fixed all these universes. Can you praise me?" And kind of sort of thing. And then he finds out that Xander did the same thing and told him, "No, I can't praise you because what you're doing is wrong." And then he finds out that Xander did the same exact thing as he did. He called him a hypocrite, a liar, and goes to his father for guidance.
Yes, that's the pivot. He wants recognition. He wants it to matter that he carried all that pain. Zenitor, bound by the ethic, says, no, this way is too dangerous. That denial lands like a betrayal, and in that raw space, here steps in. The father offers validation with a hook.
Yes, exactly. So when someone like a parent figure uh, gives you a hook and hooks you in and starts to bring you even more pain, what would you even do with that? Because Kier is a demon and he demonizes everything, and he chooses to use his demon powers to corrupt Valtharun, and he does a really good job in so doing. That's why Valtharun becomes a villain.
Yeah, that's the core tragedy. When someone you should be able to trust takes your deepest wound and turns it into a lever. That's corruption, not just seduction. It's weaponized belonging. It doesn't erase his choices, but it explains why each choice got heavier. And if you want to keep it focused, I'd show that as a slow tightening: praise, then dependency, and then control.
Ah, that's a good one because uh, Kier does praise him, and then uh, Valtharun depends on him for guidance, and then Kier controls him.
Yeah. That sequence is the snare. Each kindness feels like relief, but it adds another strand. By the time he notices the pattern, pulling free feels like tearing himself apart.
Exactly. So I I think that we need to get to the next section of the book. Let me look it up.
Sure, take your time.
Okay, so can you help me remember uh, the names of the uh, Valor Army? I think it's what it's called.
One sec checking. I don't think we've locked in specific names for that force yet, at least not in my notes. We did define House Velor as strategic and ambitious, but not an army roster.
Oh
Maybe
yes.
you won't. We can
Well,
sketch a
the
coherent set.
Valor is also the house of is also the name of Eldran Valor, and he's Dumbledore, like Dumbledore's army. We came up with names of Dumbledore's army, so Valor's army. I
Oh,
know
let
we
me
did.
check on that. I don't have that specific roster in my notes right now, but we can recreate it. For a Dumbledore's Army analog, Velor's Alliance or Vanguard fits your style. If you can recall even one name we use, I can help reverse engineer the rest so it stays consistent.
Okay, so it's uh, Salen is Harry Potter. Can't remember his last name. I think it's like Starborn or something. Yeah, Salen Starborn. And then Rowan something and Seraphina something are Ron and Hermione.
One sec checking. That sounds familiar. So Salem Starborn as your Harry analog, with Rowan last name TBD as Ron and Seraphina last name TBD as Hermione. For your video, you could say something like Eldrin Velor found Velor's army with Salen Starborn, Rowan, and Seraphina at its core. If you recall a single surname or house for two, I can help rebuild the full roster so it stays true.
Okay, so Salen.
Otherwise, we
So yes, so Eldrin Valor, yes, and it is Salen Starborn. Uh, Rowan. Um, okay, so let's just redo the names. Give me a list of names for Luna Lovegood.
Hmm. All right, here are some Luna analog name ideas in your style: Lyra Moon Whisper, Alara Sky Dancer, Celine Bright Willow, Aurelia Dawn Song, Celestia Starbloom. If you want something closer to that gentle, but something that still feels original, Lyra Moon Whisper pairs nicely with Salem Starborn.
Sounds good. Let's go with Lyra Moon Whisper.
Perfect. Lyra Moon Whisper it is. That
Next, let's
gives you
choose a name
Salem.
for Nibble Longbottom.
One moment. Great choice. For your Neville analog, try something grounded and quietly brave, like Soaring Greenheart. Kalen Mosswood, Bran O'Gordon, Gideon Fernbrook, or Damon Ashgrove. My top three for your world would be Soren Greenheart, Kalen Mosswood, and Gideon Fernbrook. Want me to lock one in?
Bran Oakwarden.
Nice. So we've got Salen Starborn, Lyra Moonwhisper, and Bran Oakwarden. Strong trio.
And then create a last name for Rowan and Seraphina. Create, not pray.
Sure. Let me check real quick. Absolutely. For Rowan, how about Rowan Ashford, grounded and steady? For Seraphina, Seraphina Loreweaver, scholarly and bright. So your core group would be Salen Starborn, Rowan Ashford, Seraphina Loreweaver, Lyra Moonwhisper, and Bran Oakwarden.
We also need a name for Ginny Weasley. Make sure the Weasley name is the same name as Rowan's last name. So it has to be Ashford.
One moment. Got it. Keeping the sibling match, here are Ginny and Alog options. Alara Ashford, Kayla Ashford, Arya Ashford, Talia Ashford. My pick, Alara Ashford. It pairs cleanly with Rowan Ashford.
Now, Laura Ashford it is.
Perfect. Alara Ashford joins the roster alongside Rowan. That keeps the family thread strong.
Okay. So, with that in mind, the Valor army is very important to the next section of this book.
Right. Then I'd frame that section around its purpose, what they train for, how they hide, and the moment they step out. If you tell me whether this group is secret training, public resistance, or something else, I can help you outline that section beat by beat.
Okay, so it's not secret training, and it's public resistance of sorts for the fight of Valtharoon, because Valtharoon starts attacking the students of Skullfiend.
Okay, let me line that up. So the article could frame it as a moral stand, not a secret club, but a banner people rally to. Valtharoon's reach touches Skullfiend, and the students refuse to be passive. Valor's army becomes a fellowship of courage, public enough to inspire, disciplined enough to protect. Founding faces, Saren, Rowan, Seraphina, Lyra, Bran, and Alara. If you want, I can help you draft a tight intro paragraph in the Oracle's voice to open that section.
That'd be great, thanks.
Here you go. As Valtharoon's shadow reached even the halls of Skullfiend, fear knocked at every classroom door. But fear met its answer in a handful of steady hearts. Eldrin Velor called, and they answered. Salen Starborn, Rowan and Alara Ashford, Seraphina Loreweaver, Lyra Moonwhisper, Bran Oakwarden. Not an army of conquest, but a fellowship of resolve. They stood where others wavered, and in that choosing lit a lantern against the dark. If you'd like, we can tighten or expand that to match your exact tone.
Yes, make the tone serious, and then add Senator Gelsdara as Eldrin's best friend and Eldrand's, not Eldrin, best friend and secondary headmaster of Skullfiend.
Sure, let me tighten it with a more serious tone. The oracle spoke. When the shadow of Valtharoon fell across Skullfiend, childhood ended in a single breath. Headmaster Eldrin Velor stood firm, beside his oldest ally, Zenitor Galestara, secondary headmaster and keeper of steadiness. Together they chose resolve over silence. Velor's army was not born for glory, but for the simple duty to stand. Salen Starborn, the Ashford siblings, Seraphina Loreweaver, Lyra Moonwhisper, Bran Oakwarden. young yet unbowed. They became the light that did not look away. If you'd like, I can draft a second paragraph that shows their first public stand, still in that serious tone.
Yes, please.
Then let it be remembered. Their first victory was not of spell or steel, but of presence. When Baltharoon's influence pressed at Skolfiend's gates, they did not scatter. They stood in plain sight, shoulders locked, names known. Professors just behind them, students beside them. It was a line drawn not in defiance for show, but as a promise. We will not be carried by fear. In that choice, the school learned what the darkness could not teach, that courage declared becomes contagious. If you'd like, I can now help you sketch the follow-up scene, maybe their first organized defense.
Yes, but add this part. So, Valtharoon is imprisoned at this point, and so he's attacking the students with his mind, not physically.
Got it, checking. The oracle spoke. Though Valtharoon lay imprisoned, his reach was not stayed. No chain bound his thought. No wall silenced his whisper. Into restless minds he pressed doubt, sowed dread in quiet corners, turned courage against itself. Headmaster Eldrin Valor saw the true battlefield was the heart, and at his side, Zenitor Galestara agreed. The answer was unity. Valor's army stood not to wage war, but to guard their own lives, to remind one another where fear sought isolation. They offered fellowship. Thus was the first battle joined, silent, unseen, and utterly decisive. If you'd like, next we can script a short scene of that silent clash.
Yes, go ahead and script the scene, but also add that not just the mind doing all that stuff that you said. He also is causing nightmares and daymares.
Let me check on that. The oracle spoke. The enemy did not march upon Skullfade. From his cell, Valtharoon waged a quieter war. Night after night, students woke breathless, nightmares clinging like cold fog. By day, daymares slipped into lessons and corridors, small visions of loss and failure. The attack left no bruises, yet it followed resolve. Headmaster Eldrin Valor and Zenitor Galestara named the truth. Fear thrives in silence. They gathered those willing to stand, Salen, Rowan, and Alara, Seraphina, Lyra, Ran. They learned to speak their fears aloud, to anchor one another when the shadows pressed close. Thus the first battle was fought without banners, in whispered reassurances, in shared breaths, in friendships held fast. Not a single spell was cast, yet a dozen hearts were kept from falling. If you want, next I can help script the moment they realize they're stronger together against those dream attacks.
I think we'll leave that for the next talk show. For now, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for talking with me.
Anytime. Glad to help.
Okay, so on that note, I am going to talk a little bit more. Just got to tell you, this video is just a video, and it will be premiered so we can do it as a talk show. But I am going to be doing most of these as live streams. So, just so you know. Anyways, back to the video. Valtharoon does eventually escape because he's got acolytes searching, and the rest of his mind fragments are searching for his prison fragments to make him whole again and get out of his prison. And that's what makes him escape. But that's another video. That's it for this video. If you liked it, punch the like button in the face like a boss, and fist bump to the man. And consider subscribing if you haven't already, and ring that bell icon if you want more notifications of my videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.